So I'm excited for this because I've got my vodka cranberry here, which I have a whole thing of vodka, and I have cranberry juice because it's good for you. I have 2 delicious peaches that I'll be snacking on at some point. I have my lizard. I have my best friend. I have a little pile of notes. We finished Dragon Age. It's time for a celebration, baby.
It is time for a celebration. Oh my god. Hang on though. You're so prepared. I need
What are you drinking, babe?
I have a gin and Dr. Pepper.
Why is that funny?
Because a lot of people make fun of me for my love of Dr. Pepper.
You know what? Do you know what's
What?
Clink, clink.
Clink.
We keep clinking at the wrong time.
It's the time difference.
Ooh, put too much vodka in that.
Good.
Dr. Pepper in Canada tastes like shit. I can't stand it. When we went to Gen Con.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
had
right.
a Dr. Pepper because we had 100,000 Dr. Peppers in that Airbnb.
Yeah.
And then I had one just to check. And I was like, oh, this American Dr. Pepper and UK Dr. Pepper are the same. Canadian Dr. Pepper is different and bad. Bad, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy bad.
Yeah. Our Dr. Pepper is good. It has all of the flavors in it. I don't know what's going on
as
up
British.
there.
British also has all the flavors in it. That's true.
Good.
We share that together. We shake hands on Dr. Pepper. It's the one thing we can agree
It's
on.
that and colonialism that we have in common.
Yeah.
Those
it's
two
why our
things.
nations have a tentative peace.
Mm-hmm.
Our current our current devolving into fascism. Colonialism in our past.
Mm-hmm.
We have the same flavor of Dr. Pepper.
Those are the things.
And me and you.
And us. Yeah.
And us.
And us. Even though you don't currently live there. And it doesn't.
I don't currently live there. I don't claim it. I do claim London, as I think that London and England are 2 different places. But we've talked about this privately, where I have a lot of feelings on
I
that.
don't think I've come away with an understanding of what the difference is. Would you like to tell the class?
You have, because you think the same with New York and America.
Oh.
And
okay.
I have the same feelings. Where it's
Right.
like, culturally and politically, London and England are so different. It's like, London is so multicultural and so, it's like it's got a whole history of a classist oppression that is still felt like in people. People understand that in London.
Yeah.
And in a way that like other places in England don't. I'm not saying that places in England don't. Like, Leeds and Manchester obviously still feel that.
Oh, obviously.
But it's different. It's like I don't have a first-hand experience of those places, but I do have a first-hand experience in London, and I love it. It's in my bones.
I'll see it one day.
I will be buried in London, unless like I'm not buried in London, and that's fine. But my soul will return to London and live in like one of an old
London?
spooky house. Yeah.
Would you haunt me?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But I'm gonna when I die, and if you're still alive, my soul will attach itself to you like a persona where you can summon me at any point to do weird magical things.
Yeah.
You just need to whisper my name and I appear above you and you can command me like an anime character and I'll go and do spooky shit.
Oh, great. If I die first though, I'm going to haunt you and it's going to be scary.
Cool. Tell me more about that. Because you know that this is my deepest fear. This ghost.
I know. But
when I'm just full jorking it, are you just going to slam a door somewhere in my room every time?
You'll never come in peace again. not anymore.
I will meet aliens and they'll say, we come in peace. And I'll be like, I don't, unfortunately.
I don't. I cannot. I've been cursed by someone I once loved. I'm so sorry, darling. I cannot consummate this marriage because I made the mistake of having a best friend.
Yeah, I can consummate the marriage, but I won't finish consummating it. It's like I can begin, and then you will finish. They'll finish. But and after a while, what's really fun is you don't have to do anything. Because I'm going to be so
the anticipation of the scariness will...
Because that's in the horror film, the release, so to speak, is the not scary bit. It's the build-up. And that is what will scare me.
That's what I'm here to ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Great. Perfect.
But then there's going to be a really sad thing when one day I'm trying to have kids and I can't finish unless a door is slammed really loud somewhere in the house. I'm like...
Or one day you'll know that I've crossed over when you finally... when you finally bust it.
When I come a build-up of 30 years, I kill my partner instantly.
You'll know that I finally moved on, and
I will weep. And then after that, every time I come, I cry, and my sex life is wrecked forever.
Yeah. So really, it's just the whole time. It's a
whole
mess.
Time, because every time I finish, I remember you and the fact that either you're there still or you've moved on.
They're still ready to spook you. Or that I'm gone forever, and that's so sad.
And that's so sad.
I'm so sorry. Or I could also like make myself like appear in the shadows of your pornography, like a little like a shadowy reflection of me.
That'd be nice though.
And I'd just be like,
and it will be much like The Haunting of Hill House, where someone's like, yeah, the porn's good, but did you find the 13 hidden ghosts in the porn?
Did you find the 13 hidden Dillins that are just... Because if they made eye contact with you at any point...
Send this porn to 15 people, or Dillin is going to ruin your sex life forever.
For 30 years!
For 30 years! That's fucking good, dude. I think you should do that. I think you should go upstairs and die right now so we can get this
show on the fucking road.
Let's get this show on the road, dude.
Almost. All right. Well, I'm not taking myself out. You'll have to do it.
Oh, do you know what's fun?
What?
Hi, my name is Robin. I have finished a Dragon Age game.
Oh my god! And I'm Dillin. I finished this Dragon Age game for the 100th time.
Amazing. This is Dorkspawn, Dragon Age podcast, where we go through the games chapter by chapter. We are not done with Origins, but we have finished Origins.
We've finished the main game of Origins. We have one more DLC to play.
Called Awakening that you can only do afterward.
Yeah.
However, the main base game is all done. I have some very minor notes because I did a fair amount of preamble before I finished the thing. Some things, I'm gonna be honest, a little upset about.
Oh, I know, and I can't wait to hear about all the things that you're upset about.
Things. Alistair, I spoke to everyone at camp, and I had a pretty good talk with everyone. Alistair just told me more stories about the Grey Wardens, and then he was telling old times with old friends and all this, and it was really nice. Alistair said that he really wants something of Duncan's, so I took King Kaelin's sword off of him, and I didn't have King Kaelin's sword on him at the I did have King Kaelin's sword on him.
Yeah, that's what you did.
I took it off, and then I gave him Duncan's sword that I had on Zevran, and then I gave Zevran King Kaelin's sword. I had a weird sword. I don't know where I had my weird sword from. But I had a weird flame sword, which I can't remember getting. I went back to Soldier's Peak, I found out that do you remember ages ago I was like, yeah, there was this weird Superman reference.
Yes.
Yeah. I went to Soldier's Peak just to like run around and speak to people. One of the guys there was like, I had an option to tell him about the ore that I picked up at the Superman reference, and then he made me a meteorite sword that I gave to Sten, a two-handed meteorite sword, which I thought was awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was gonna give it to myself, but then I was like, thematically, I don't really care, so I gave it to Sten because his sword sucked. I got Shale's quest. Shale did agree to, was like questioning everything. So I was like, oh my God, come with me to the thing then. Let's go back to the Tig. We did that.
Oh, great. I'm so glad you got to do that.
Do you know what though? She didn't stop calling me it after. Which is upsetting to me. I was really looking forward to that. Talked to Zevran about Antiva. Liliana thinks that she's slipping. She was like, I don't know why we killed her. I felt like I didn't want to, but then I knew it was for the best, and I feel like that's me slipping back into bard stuff.
What her
and who I used to be.
What Marjolaine used to make her do.
And I was like, hey, listen, hun, you had to do it. There is no peace if she was still alive. And then she was like, you're right, that's true. And then she was like, fine. Spoke to Orgrin. He told me that he had an old flame who was a surfacer. I had my only note.
You got it. Nice.
Did you not?
I didn't. No. He just kept talking to me about being drunk, and I just kept telling him he's fucking the worst.
Yeah, he is the worst. I do actually. I have Orgrin tells me a story, and then under it I have I hate him, because I do. Mm-hmm. Then we went to the Mage's Tower, or just outside the Mage's Tower. I came across two mages talking about the players. A very weird meta joke where they were talking about, do you think that we're just here to entertain some players and aren't even like the leads in this and blah, blah, blah. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
I went here because Orgrin wanted me to come here because his old flame was in the bar. Now, I'm going to say this. Fucking hate Orgrin. This story is very funny to me. We walk in, he's like, this woman, we used to be so into each other. We were smooching. We were banging all the time. She loves me. It's crazy. Look at how good my game is. Walked, and he was like, by the way, I'm going to need you to back me up. You're the Grey Warden. Some points there. We walked in. She is so chronically uninterested in him.
Yeah.
And I did help him for some of it, and then after a while I was like, no, you deal with this is too embarrassing. And she fucking hates him, and I was like, I literally wrote, gotta be honest, watching him flail pathetically to pick up someone endeared him so much to me. Afterwards I was like, that's funny.
Of course it did.
It's like he's the most pathetic, like he's just the most pathetic man that's ever lived, and that's so fucking funny to me. That he is the worst. And everyone in the universe knows, because I didn't want him to have a good moment, and he didn't. He had a moment where the woman that he thought would be super into him was just like, fuck off and die, actually. I hate you. And it was hysterical to me.
It's perfect.
Loved that. Got some Win backstory.
I got
a full little cutscene going into Denerim when she passed out. I talked to her about it.
Oh, you finally got the pass out scene?
Finally got the pass out scene.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, if I'm going to the Landsmeet, I'm going to take Alistair, Lily, and Win, because they're the people. Like, I'm not bringing Morrigan to a big fancy meeting. That just seemed stupid. Mm-hmm. She passed out. I talked to her about it. Turns out that she is dead. Which is crazy. She's dead, and a spirit is like making sure she lives just for a small amount of time because she needs to.
And we have no idea how long.
Yeah. This next bit of Win's story came post game for me. So I beat the game, and then it was like, now you have a chance to do DLC stuff. Or like it loaded like the previous save all the way back. And then I did it where I did a scene where we got jumped by Darkspawn, and then she gained a new ability by like rezzing everyone in a cutscene. She like everyone got beaten to hell, and she rezzed everyone, and then we talked about it. Cool little story, actually. I thought that was really cool.
It's a good one.
Then we get to Denerim. We meet Tim Curry. Love him. Loved him. We meet up with Loghain.
Yep.
Loghain has a sad backstory that he talks about. Or like, you know, he was in the war with Orlais, and like, yeah, it's not really a sad backstory, but it's like it's his attempt at justifying what he did.
Yeah, and he was a hero to Ferelden.
Mm-hmm.
Before he then abandoned Ferelden to the Blight because he had a vendetta against King Cailan.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who, I didn't realize, is married to his daughter.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Anora.
Because I thought it was weird. I actually, in one of my first notes, I was like, it's weird that King Cailan's wife is hanging out with Loghain just on the side. And then in this, I was like, oh, it's father and daughter. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's
so
less
he
weird
murdered his son-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully, but stupid. We're now on the estate. Love the estate. I don't, because I really love the camp and I didn't know where everyone was, but I do love the fact that we change locations.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
The finale. Talks to Wynn. She now approves of Morrigan and me, whereas before she didn't. She now is she is into it. In an absolutely insane twist, Liliana says that she's jealous of Morrigan for being with me because she wants it. And then I'm like, you want to be with me? And then she's like, no, not like that. It's just like, I'm just, you know, it's, I kind of, and then she just kind of leaves it.
She's just like, lonely.
Or she wants me.
Calm down.
I'm not, no, because she said the words to me that she wants, she made me hit my desk. I got angry. And then, turns out.
I love that you have notes, but I need you to speak into your microphone because you get real quiet when you go over here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And then Queen Adora.
Anora.
Let me make sure. Anora, sorry. Let me make sure that my mic is perfectly on the thing. There we go. It's because this pop filter means I don't actually know where I'm supposed to be facing. I'm going to put a little sticker to make sure I know. The Queen has been not captured, but is not allowed out of one of the Arl of Denerim's estate. So we need to go break her out. So then we go break her out. You now talk. I've talked too much.
Well, okay. So Erlina tells Erlina is Anora's handmaiden. She tells us that Queen Anora is like trapped with her father, that he's lost his mind, and that like she is not in agreement with him. She's just afraid and now completely trapped there.
Yeah.
So we have to go to the Arl of Denerim's estate, sneak in and break her out. While we're in there, we find all these other people that Loghain has captured, and they're all tied to different places we've been and backstories we've encountered.
Yes.
So we find oh goodness, who do we find in the prisons? Riordan we find, who's a Grey Warden from Orlais.
Yep. Like a noble. We find like two different noble people.
Yep. And we find Rexel, I believe, who his mother was like looking for him and posted about him on the Chantry board. And it's like one of the first ever quests you pick up.
Oh my god. Holy shit, it felt so good to complete 3 different quests that I've had since the beginning of the game and find out that it's all in this one manor. Holy shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we see that Loghain has been basically locking up any dissenters whatsoever, and anyone associated with the Grey Wardens, essentially, too. And now his own daughter, because she started to disagree with him. So she's behind a locked door. And so we have to break her out, bring her back to Arl Eamon's estate, where she's like, thank you so much, Warden. I will side with you. And she kind of proposes, like, because everybody up until this point is going, hey, you know what? Congratulations, you found Alistair Theron. That's the heir to the that's the heir
guy
to the throne. We're saved. We bring Queen Honora back, and she's like, no offense, boy, but like I've been queen this entire time. Even before my husband died, he was off at war. I've been ruling this.
She says, I've been ruling for 5 years already. Like I was the one who did all of the things whilst he was off doing other shit.
Yeah. And Alistair's like, yeah, no problem. I don't fucking want to be king. I hate all the words in the sentence.
It's so interesting because he makes it so adamant that he doesn't want to be king even a little bit. He's like, I don't want it. Give it to her, please. Every time it's even a whisper on the wind, he says, he's like, I don't want it. I want her to have it, please. I hate this job. Yeah.
So she's like, fine, if you want Alistair to be king, I guess I get it, but that's not what you should do. You should support me in the Landsmeet. And I will back the Grey Wardens. What?
One of the other people that you find is the son of the Isle of Denerim, who is the bad guy that you kill in the opening of the City Elf playthrough.
Right. Yes, the guy. Yeah. Oh, that's right. And he I'm so glad you brought that up. I yelled a lot during this scene because you find him and you can talk to him before opening the bars, and he tells you. He says the most monstrous things ever. He like basically says that the elves are not human and that like who cares? Like let's kill, like I love killing them.
That's so interesting. He didn't say that to me, an elf.
Oh yeah. He was like, no, I don't understand why you're so upset. Yeah, of course I did. And so we killed him through the bars.
I killed him through the bars.
You did it anyway.
Because I was like, my backstory is that I was a city elf and then I went off. So I was like, I would already know that this guy sucks.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I'm just going to fucking kill him.
Yeah. He outright says, like, admits his crimes to you like it's nothing. And is just
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, he didn't say any of that to me. He was very... He was polite in a way that I thought the game was... I thought it was clever. It's like, if you haven't done the run where you're a city elf... This guy just seems like a dude. He's just like a normal guy, but apparently not. It's only if you're an elf.
Yeah. He was crazy. He was pretty evil to me. And so we killed him through the bars.
Yeah.
And so now what you don't kind of... So like all of this is leading up to how much support you're going to have in the Landsmeet.
Mm-hmm.
So killing that guy means that that his family, they don't support you at the Landsmeet.
Yeah.
So you really have to make sure you get all your other ducks in a row if you want to be able to make the choice that you want.
Mm-hmm.
In the end. So, okay. So there's that. We get Queen Honora. We get her out. We get her back home.
And then, then there's also, just really quick, there is also a Templar next to the guy.
Yeah.
Who mentions Jowan. He was after my Blood Mage friend, which I thought was very fun. Just because it was like a very light reference to him.
Yeah.
He was dead. No, I think he gave me a ring, a signet ring, and was like, give this to my wife.
Oh, yes, I gave it. Yeah, I gave it to his wife,
I did that rather than letting him out because I was like, I kind of am friends with the guy who you've been hunting this whole time, and I'm also a blood mage, so I don't really want you out of this cage. So I'll take the signet ring.
But I'll take
Thank
the
you,
ring
bye.
for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Then you go up, you let the queen out. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's two ways that this can go. You leave, and then there's a huge army of people waiting for you. And you have the choice to fight them and escape, or be like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, sure, capture me. I surrender this. Just, let everyone else go, just me. And it was me and Alistair, because apparently he only cares about the Grey Wardens.
Yeah.
What did you do?
So, because you can just fight your way out and not have to deal with this whole part. And I usually do that, but because it's the quicker route, but of course we're in character. We're role-playing the role-playing game. So and then you miss a hugely good section of the game. Yeah.
IMO. Yeah.
So somebody in my party said, like, if we kill them all, like, we are proving what they think about the Grey Wardens. We're here to show the city that the Grey Wardens are here to help. Let's be that way. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. Okay. So we surrender. Me and Alistair get locked up. Everybody else does not. I had a little bit of a glitch where the people that I chose to come looking for me were not the ones that wound up showing up, which is interesting.
No, that's weird. So who did you pick and who ended up showing up?
So I picked
It's also very fun because you don't know that that's what you're picking when you pick it. Alistair is like lamenting that you've been captured, and then you're like, I bet this person will come save us. And then he's like, oh yeah, and who else? And it's like, this person will probably also save us. And then those are the two people that like enter to try and save you, which I thought was cool.
But so you get to like kind of fight your way out of this prison, just the two of you.
Well, who did you pick?
I picked Morrigan and Zevran, I think.
Wow, that's interesting. Why those two?
I love them.
But neither of them are your love interest.
But they're my best friends. I don't want to risk my love interest's life.
Interesting.
My beloved shouldn't be breaking into a prison. She should be getting manicures.
Yeah, I mean, my beloved would break into a prison to save me specifically. Morrigan and Liliana both decided to do it. And then at every talking check, it was like, who do you want to take the lead? And I was like, Liliana, please. And then Liliana was like, no, darling, it is okay. Blah, blah, blah. And then I got passed. I beat every talking check.
Oh, did you let them save you? Because we didn't. I didn't.
You chose to break out?
I broke out myself, and then we run into them just at the end. So if you choose to take the lead on breaking out, you and Alistair break your way out, and then at the very end, for like the last room of the dungeon, they catch up with you, and they're like, "Oh, thank God!"
That's so fun. No, I bet that they would help us escape, and both of them dressed in chantry robes and just walked and talked their way to us until the final room when they had to fight the people. We tricked the guards by praying for their souls that they wouldn't let us pass, and they're like, all right, fine, go on then. And then Liliana was like, oh, thank you so much. Every single time Morrigan opened her mouth, Liliana would be like, shh, let me take it. We went, and there was like a woman in the chantry who was already there, and she's like, oh my God, why don't they trust me to do it? Why don't they trust me to, be able to do the chant on my own? And then Liliana was like, oh, well, I didn't know. Maybe you should go speak to them about it. We didn't mean to step on your toes at all. And she was like, ugh, and then ran away. And then Liliana was like fucking barding her way through the halls and tricking everyone, and then got us both out.
Beautiful.
It was fun. It's a great little section.
It is a good little section.
At that bit, I was like, damn, this is a good finale. A prison break? Come on, that's great. A prison break with people who you're not normally, and there's like a bunch of... It's like, the cutscene was fun because at every check, it was like, attack, choose, let Liliana do the talking, let Morrigan do the talking. And I was like, man, with everyone here, like the choice of having everyone like walking you through this is such a fun... This is like such a fun little bit where it's like just get your two favorite companions or the two people who you trust to do it, and they walk through and they just talk their way through, or then maybe they do some fighting because that they're tough enough. If Sten and Shale helped us, then they would just fucking crush everyone's head until they got to us. And I loved it. I just thought it was so good. And also we were found because Morrigan said that she gave me a ring that helps her find out where I am at all times, which is a thing that happened early on in our romance. She gave me a ring, and she was like, this will help me find you no matter where you are. Mentions it. Yeah. And she was like, this will help me find you wherever you are. And then when we get captured, people are talking and she walks into the room and she's like, I know where he is because I gave him a ring that shows me where he is at all times. And I just thought that was such a
really
fun
cool
little
and
moment.
fucking romantic and hot. Yeah.
Tell you what, there's a lot of romance going up with me and Morrigan. I actually love this chick. I started this of being like a role play. I just kind of want her in, and I finished the game being like, man, she's great. Because I broke down her walls. It's what I need to do every romance.
That is what you do need to do.
I love it. I love people.
You love people who are hard to love.
I don't. No. I love people who don't want to be in love with me, and be mad about that fact.
Yeah.
I love that shit. That's my whole gambit.
That's why Morrigan you're always so mad at me when I am so nice to you.
Because I need you. Yeah, I need you to protect. I need you to be angrier about the fact that you love me. It's my problem. Yeah.
God. Okay.
But it's great, man. It's a great
bit.
And then we get out. Do we do the Landsmeet immediately after this? I don't think we do.
No. So before the Landsmeet,
it's the alienage.
Queen Honora and Arleman are like, yeah, you know what would be great if the alienage didn't hate us entirely. Yep. It's a mess in there. So now this whole bit is wild. So like if you play a city elf, we are in like the very bottom quarter of this game, and now is the time that you're going back.
Yeah.
And you walk back and like
I thought you said the alienage was open if you're a city elf at all times.
No.
If you're no, it's not.
No,
okay.
The alienage is closed. As soon as you walk into Denerim, the gates are barred, and there's a notice on the door saying that it's closed because of the disruption, referencing what happened.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But now we go in there. It's open to us suddenly as soon as we start talking about the Landsmeet, and then we're allowed in. And we learn that, like, yeah, a lot of elves were killed by a lot of the city guard.
Bad.
But also now there's a whole ass plague here where just all of the elves are being killed. And Denerim has called in mages from Tevinter. So now,
crazy.
Here's the whole thing.
This is the first time we meet people from Tevinter.
This is why this is really weird to me, is that Dragon Age Origins was supposed to be a one-off game. They had no plans for a sequel when they made this. And so they introduce an entire new country, new culture, new like whole shtick in
the last 10% of the game.
Yeah. And we learn that, these people from
Tevinter has been talked about the whole time as a really bad place, but you've not met anyone from Tevinter.
And we haven't learned much about it, really. We've heard some reference to it in passing dialogues and stuff. So we learn from Shiani, who Feleria did not know. So we learn after meeting Shiani that there's a plague here. They're all demanding to find out what's going on with the quarantined, because people with the plague are being allegedly brought into this clinic
and then cured, according to
them. But none of them are coming back out. And there's no news coming from within. Super, super fishy. And the Tevinter guards that are there, the mages that are there, are not giving any sort of information whatsoever. So now we are snooping about. There are a couple of sick elves who ask you for money. I gave them money. And then they...
Oh my god, the funniest shit in the world is those elves.
Love that.
I gave them a gold. I walked away. I came back and there was 3 of them. I gave them 3 gold. And then I walked away and I came back and there was literally 50 of them.
Yeah.
All around.
And they're
and
like,
I gave them 50 silvers because I didn't have the money.
Right, guys.
Yeah.
Calm down. I gave them one last little bit of money, and then I told them
I gave them 50 silver because I just didn't have the gold, unfortunately. But
yeah. So that's one little thing. But then while you're walking around, you start to find these clues, like blood and like rotted corpses and stuff like that in the dirt around. And you can kind of follow these clues and like rack up that something is fishy. You talk to Shiani. Shiani tells you that something's up with the hospice. Someone else tells you that there's something wrong with the orphanage too.
There is just a random beggar who is scared of the orphanage.
Yes.
Because her grandmother told her, I did this bit after I did the hospice because I just pretended to be ill. As an elf, I don't know if it was an exclusive elf thing, but I just coughed a bunch.
I didn't get that.
Shiani was like, just pretend to be ill. And I was like, yeah, sick, okay. And then I coughed. I walked up and they were like, oh, wow, you're looking really bad. You should come in here. And I was like, okay. And then I walked in. It was just me on my own. And they were like, oh my god, that's the fucking Grey Warden. You've just let the Grey Warden into the hospice. And then I exterminated all of them immediately. It was so fucking satisfying because now I'm level 20 at this point. I am so fucking juiced. I like turn on blood magic. I do the thing which I did with all the deep roads. Turn on blood magic. I like magically hold everyone. If anyone escapes my ire, I blood control them and make them kill everyone. And then I cast Tempest. Blizzard, and then Firestorm in the circle because they all have the same AoE of the circle of people who are held by my blood hold, and they. I stand and I watch them in horror as they all get the full attack of the elements. And I just did that to this whole room, and I stepped outside, and Shiani was like, "So what was in there?" I was like, oh, "Bad, dude. Rough.
They're dead.
Rough for them.
Everything in there is dead."
Yeah.
I am not an elf, so I couldn't do that. So I had to sneak in the back, kill 2 guards at the back door, sneak my way in, and go around, kill the guards, find like some shipment notes that reveal that the Tevinter mages are selling these elves
just
back
shipping
to
slaves.
Tevinter into slavery.
For low gain as well. Specifically for low.
Yes.
Low
with
gain
low gain,
is like
full blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was we'll talk about it. And then you go out the back because it turns out that one of the apartments is where they fully send people. They like bring people in here, then they take them down an alley and they put them in one of the apartments.
Yeah.
So I slipped through, mutilated a million more Tevinter, and then you come across the leader who is like, hey, you got here, so you're clearly pretty buff. How about you pay me 100 gold, and then I will write and sign a letter addressed to Loghain from me. Like, oh, no. Yeah, addressed to Loghain from me, or I'll give you a letter from Loghain to us proving that Loghain has like a big hand in this. And then we'll take the elves and all my men and we'll walk off. And then I did a bunch of intimidation checks and I was like, how about we do this instead? Yeah. How about you give me the note and you all live? And he was like, oh man, this could have been easier. And then I brutally massacred all of his men and he was like, okay. What if you keep your money? You keep the elves, just me live, and I'll give you the letter. And then I was like, if I fucking see you in my city again, I'm going to force you to tear your own eyes out. Get the fuck out of my sight. Yeah. And then he ran away. So I did take the letter because I thought I need as much as I can on Loghain. I do want to kill this guy, but there are unfortunately bigger fish to fry. The chances of that guy living on his own is pretty low. So he can go.
Yeah. No, that's more or less what I did as well. You also meet when you go into like the apartments and then into the warehouse where like all of the elves are being kept. You meet Devera, which is interesting. Devera is a Tevinter elf, which will be retconned.
Oh, yes. Oh, interesting. Because I comment on the fact that she's an elf.
Yes,
and
I
she's
do too.
Like, yeah. So what?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're an elf, dude. Look at what you're doing. And she's like, I don't care. I don't care.
The later games, even as soon as 2, will establish they start to do some more world building about the places that are not Ferelden. And they take this like slavery and Tevinter thing and turn it into like a elves are full stop always second-class citizens in Tevinter.
Interesting. So I wonder why that's different. Do they explain it as like that's why she's in Ferelden? Is like, yeah, I'll sell people. They don't
ever mention her ever again. No, it's just like the lore wise, that's upsetting
because it was really interesting as to why she was doing it.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's so the TV show, I guess, is one other example. There was a
TV show. That's crazy.
Yeah, there is one other example in which an elf. It does exist in Tevinter, but
she seems still super criminal. Because she's a criminal in Ferelden, so I imagined that she was just criminally, displaced, and it's like, yes, she's an elf, and yes, maybe in Tevinter she's hated, but she's a criminal. She's like, yeah, I'm doing this so that Tevinter is allowing me to be in Ferelden because I'm a free woman in Ferelden. The offshoot is that I just need to take my own people.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, like they definitely don't establish that for sure, but that would make sense.
Like that's what made sense for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get the papers. We could show them to Arleman. He's super pissed. He's like, "What the fuck? Are you kidding me that slavery is happening in my city? Like without my fucking like people are royally pissed, obviously." And then we get the new marker map for the royal palace as soon as we solve the unrest.
Yes. Did you meet Otto?
Which one's Otto?
He's the blind Templar who, because of his blindness, he can like sense like evil magic easy, and he's in the alienage. And I helped him. All of the clues that you said, it helped me get into the orphanage.
Oh, that's right. We didn't talk about the orphanage, yeah.
And you have to keep him alive for the whole thing. It sucked. I had to reload this section so many times.
Oh, I know.
Because he just kept fucking dying. And then at the end of it, he fucking dies in the story. Yeah. And it angered me to a point of like, maybe I'm done for tonight, actually. Because I've kept this man alive for the past hour and a half.
I didn't bring him.
Stupid little games. Oh, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
I was just like, hey, there's a thing. And he's like, okay, let's go. And then I went with him. There's a lot of interesting dialogue with him. I liked him a lot because he had a lot of cool things to say about, because he was blinded by blood magic.
Right.
Everything on him healed except for his blindness, but now he can just sense demons. And I was like, I went on the wiki after I did this bit. Whilst I was doing this bit, sorry, to be like, this guy is the coolest Templar I've met. He's got to be in the rest of the games. And then it was like, no, he's not. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And then I finished the section and he got ganked by a fucking demon. And I was like, oh, well,
eats it. Yeah.
That's what a waste for a really cool concept of a character. So I was a little disappointed at that. But I was disappointed in terms of like, damn, he was really, really cool. I wish I could see him again. But it's also just, it's one of the cool Dragon Age Origins things where they just have a really cool side quest that
with a cool guy with a cool story,
really cool
and
guy, and it's great, and then it just stops, and which is, it's a thing which I've really loved from this game. Is there's so much shit where I'm like, man, this is fucking cool, and I just really liked Otto. I thought he was great because he was like, I can actually sense blood magic really well, and I was like, well, can't sense it that well, can
not
you?
well, not that well, buddy.
Literally stood right in front of you, babe.
So you trust me for some reason.
You know what is crazy?
What?
No one has ever commented on the fact that I'm a blood mage. Ever. In the entirety of the game. And I think that's insane to me.
That's pretty weird.
I have one comment, and it's one of the final lines in the game. And I cannot be sure that it's a direct comment of me being a blood mage, but I will talk about it later. But there's a new marker on the map after we do the orphanage. Really cool bit. If you haven't done the orphanage, I recommend doing it. It's annoying because Otto is a pain in the ass to keep alive.
I did it.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to the audience. It's like Otto is a pain in the ass to keep alive, but it's a cool bit, and he's a cool guy, and I just think it was a fun, haunted, clearly not being used for like a lot of years. Alienage, orphanage for people, and it's like it was cool to be like, oh yeah, it's the orphanage, and I was like, oh wow, cool. And I walked in and I was like, this place has not been used in a fucking million years, and there's a ton of ghosts running around. Like this orphanage is clearly just here for show and not anything else. And
there is a quest in Dragon Age 2 that you're gonna fucking love. I can't wait.
That's fucking exciting. That's really cool.
Okay, so we get the Royal Palace on our map. That's where the Landsmeet's happening. We get to go out there. If you don't take out Cothrian's troops, they try to like stop you from going in. But I just coercioned my way.
Yeah, I was just like, I told her, I was like, that something's wrong.
Yeah, and she changed her tune so fast.
In a way that I'm like, all right, you only doing that because I had high persuasion. Because she was like, I'm the most stalwart in my opinions. It's like, are you though? No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
You're correct. He's an evil man.
Logan's a monster. What do we do?
But please don't kill him, please. And I was like, all right, bye-bye. And I walked past him.
So we get into the estate. Now all our people are here, which is nice. And then we start, the Landsmeet kind of starts pretty automatically. You have all these imaginary points that you have racked up that you have no access to see, just based on stuff you've done. And the crowd votes depending on these things. What happened? Do you know who supported you and who doesn't?
I don't know the specific names of people who supported me. But I can tell you out of the 6, it's 6, right? Mm-hmm. 6 people vote in total.
Let's see.
It's either 6 or 7.
7 is secret because if you did the Trial of Crows, which I did, a random mysterious nobleman will say that the warden helped me with a private matter.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
I did like that.
So that 7th doesn't happen unless you do that.
But it only happens.
So, okay.
Yeah, it's an extra vote that can happen.
So I had 4 out of 6.
Okay, so you
on
still
my
had
side.
a majority. Yeah.
I had a majority.
I think I had 5 of 7. I only had 1 dissenter, and it was ban. No, I had 2 dissenters. Ban Siorlik, which is default. He always votes against you no matter what. And then I think that
surely it's the guy whose son you stabbed.
Oh yeah, right. Obviously, because I killed that guy.
So it's the same for both of us. We both had the exact same people.
Perfect. I just had 1 extra guy.
You had the 1 extra, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody votes in my favor. I expose Loghain for bringing slavery to Denerim.
I didn't do that because
I
thought I just did the normal talking options because I thought I could go down it like a numbered list of like every single time he says something, I could Phoenix Wright be like, objection! I know you didn't do that because I did this shit. And I was hoping that, but then I did like the really soft, like, yeah, but you're a bad guy. And then the conversation moved on. I was like, fuck, I had a cool shit. I have so much evidence. My pack is full of evidence against you. Yeah. Damn it.
But still, they rule in your favor, and they're like, okay, Warden, you can kind of figure out what's going on here. So now Loghain, realizing that he's losing, refuses to just simply step down and wants to fight you to the death, essentially.
Yeah.
But another option is presented to you by
Riordan,
who I might be saying that wrong. I don't know. But Riordan says that we are short Grey Wardens, which is a fair point. And he says that we could make him a Grey Warden. We could make him do the ritual. He may not even survive that, but if he does, it's in keeping with the Grey Warden motto.
Yeah. And the thing was, hey, listen, if he fails the joining, he dies. It is then revealed later that you have to die to kill the Archdemon. So it was like, if he fails the joining, he dies. If he kills the Archdemon, he dies. It don't fucking matter. Like, just, like, bring him on. And I was like, yeah, okay, I will. Yeah, sure. Make him a Grey Warden. That sounds like a great compromise. Alistair loses his mind so fucking fast. And I was like, okay, all right.
It's the first time he's been angry in the whole game. It's
not to me, because I blood maged the woman and he screamed at me for that as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So this is the second time he's yelled at me. Both times I was like, all right,
angry at me. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. You know what? Right you are. Hey, Loghain, you did allow slaves. Those are my people. I'm going to kill you now. So then we had a fight. I used blood mage in the court. And
I summoned a poison spider in the middle of the fucking palace ballroom.
Because he's just a guy with a sword.
One-on-one brawl.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, I'm gonna fight you with a sword, and it's like, I'm gonna fight you with yourself, dude. How do we feel about this? Like, this. I'm gonna summon all the fires of hell upon ye.
Yeah.
You can also. Could you also have? You can also have anyone fight him.
You can have Alistair fight him. You can have one of the people that are in your 4-person party.
Oh, very good.
Fight him.
Yeah, so that was for me. That was Alistair, Lily, and Wynn.
And I did not want Alistair to do it. I did it myself.
I didn't want Alistair to do it.
Alistair was too upset. I did not need him to.
Yeah. Slaughtered him. R.I.P. your man. Which Queen Adora obviously didn't want. And also, I told everyone I wouldn't kill him because I didn't think it would come to this. The Queen is like, that's my dad. I don't kill him, please. And I was like, oh my god, if I kill him, am I going to get her ire? Like, is she going to be is she going to not help me out as much? Which, in the conversation after I did kill him, I was like, I'm sorry, there couldn't have been any other way. And then she snipped back like, yes, there could have.
There could have been.
You could have done a lot of other things, actually. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I'm sorry, hon. I didn't.
But I actually just assassinated him. I didn't do the brawl. To
Loghain?
Yeah, I had him executed.
Oh no, I fought him. I didn't know you could. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I must have had the option. I just didn't see it. I was like, no, I have to fight him. This has to be, me v him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, I didn't blood mage him. I equipped my sword and shield, and I was like, okay, if you want to fight, because I remember the cutscene after. So, Arcane Warrior, there's an ability where you are like half in the fade at all times, so you're really hard to hit, but that means that your whole body is translucent. And then in the next few cutscenes, I still had that turned on because I didn't have time to turn it off because it just went cutscene to cutscene. So I was translucent for the next like 3 very dramatic cutscenes, and I thought it was very funny. But yeah, I fought that man with sword and shield, and I made him eat himself. But then it turns out that the Darkspawn have marched on Redcliffe. And you're like, oh, shit.
Well, before that, we have to choose a new ruler
of
all of Ferelden.
Oh, yeah.
So
more important.
Yeah.
Who did you pick?
So you have a couple of options that are possible here. It is possible to have Alistair rule. It's possible to have Alistair marry Anora and rule with her.
Not Adora. Yeah.
It's possible for, if you are a female human noble only, for you to marry Alistair and for you two to rule together. It is possible for Anora to rule on her own. And it is possible for Anora to kill Alistair in an execution. And it is also possible for Alistair to run away as a wandering drunk until the rest of his days as he dies in Kirkwall. Those are the possibility outcomes of
Is that last
Landsmeet.
One only if you put Ter Loghain as a Grey Warden?
If you let Loghain live, Alistair says, fuck this, I don't want to be any part of anything that this is,
and then bounces.
Yeah.
I put Anora in charge, just her alone.
Perfect, me too. Yeah.
Love Alistair. He really became my best friend in this. I really do like him. However, that man's not a ruler. He spent the last 60 hours following me around. Yeah. So he clearly has no backbone because I keep doing really bad shit and he just kind of lets it happen. I don't trust him to be the ruler of a country.
Yeah.
Anora knows what she's doing. Alistair doesn't want to be king in any capacity, so I was like, no marrying the pair of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just got her to do it, and I thought that was just best. And then it turns out, you know what? I'm pretty happy with that decision because she does show up constantly for the rest of the game. She keeps shouting you out.
Yeah. I should say, you can actually, there is an option where you can make Loghain a warden and Alistair doesn't run away drunk. But the prerequisite for that is that you have to have hardened...
has to be king. Oh.
You have to have hardened Alistair. That is the only time that he will marry Anora, rule, and Loghain lives. But a softened Alistair keeps his morality so high that he will refuse to accept that those terms do not exist.
Interesting. I did, because I did a tiny bit of looking up after the game, and I did know that you could have both. I didn't know you had to harden Alistair to do so. I thought it was just Alistair be king. And because I was planning to get Ter Loghain to join us, and then get Ter Loghain to kill the Archdemon and then die. And then Alistair and then I'm like, come on, man.
Choice,
I got him to die anyway. I just got him to die for the greater good, which surely your morality can understand. And apparently he does. If you do that, he's like, all right, I'm not mad at you anymore, because that is fair. But again, I didn't want him to be king, so.
Yeah, I didn't want him to be king. You can also, as a male warden, you can put Enora on the throne and you can marry her. And you can be like, all right, and I'll be king. But that's only if you're a human noble.
Yeah, I'm an elf, so I obviously didn't get that option.
We can't do anything.
We can't do anything in this fucking country anymore. We used to be free.
Yeah, this fucking country's gone to shit. Okay, so Logain's dead. Enora's on the throne.
Absolutely.
We're the Grey Wardens. It's all on us. Now it's time, as you said.
So far, we're doing the same run.
As you said, the Darkspawn have marched on
Redcliffe.
March on
Redcliffe. We all go to Redcliffe. We have a bunch of scuffles because they have fucked the whole place up.
Yeah, on the way there. Yeah.
We take Redcliffe again, and we're like, damn, that was easy. Where the fuck is the Archdemon? And the people are like, no. We thought that they marched on Redcliffe. It just turns out that this was a very small amount of them that we thought was a full-scale army. They've actually stormed Denerim. Like, for fuck's sake, we just got here. How did we not come across them on the way? They're like an army of hundreds of thousands of demons. You fucking idiots.
That's so interesting. So my perspective on this is that you end the Landsmeet, and Arl of Redcliffe is like, great, let's go home and prepare for battle. We go to Redcliffe, and we get a missive that they're like, hey, you don't actually have that much time to plan. Start gathering your army because they're marching on Denerim.
That's probably how it is. I just read it like.
Yeah.
Hey.
So now you have a night. You have one night in the castle of Redcliffe to
Because even though you're like, we should turn around immediately, it's like, we all just got here. We can't make that march. We have to like mentally prep ourselves for the fact we're going to be marching for like 3 full days. Yeah. It's not like an immediate there. It's like, we've spent 3 days getting here. We can't just turn around and walk back. Our men are going to be exhausted and we're going to get the shit beaten out of us. We have to rest for one night and then we'll go in the morning. Yeah.
So we have one night here. Everybody's got their little rooms. You can go around and talk to everybody one last time and chit chat and see everybody. But importantly, Riordan wants to talk to you and Alistair about something that he's like, hey, just checking in. I know that you kind of just became Grey Wardens. So I'm thinking that Duncan maybe didn't tell you.
Yeah.
This one little bitty poo about the Archdemon.
And this guy, who we don't know, we've not met him before, we've not even heard about him, he just turned up and is a Grey Warden, does another Duncan on me, where I'm like, I don't fucking like this guy. This guy just turned up out of nowhere. Who is this loser? And then there's a bit that he does later that's the coolest shit I've ever fucking seen, and I'm angry about it.
First, before that, he does the opposite of Duncan, and he is like, hey, let me tell you everything about how this shit works, because I don't think Duncan told you. Which, okay, to be fair, I did just become a Grey Warden. Alistair had been a Grey Warden for a minute and was about to go into a battle against the Horde. And
in Ostagar.
And Duncan didn't tell him that the only way to end a blight is by a Grey Warden dying in battle with an Archdemon, because the Archdemon is inhabited with the soul of an old dead god. And that's what's powering this undead dragon to control a horde of undead demons. The only way in which because if an archdemon dies by any other means, if regular people kill it, the soul of the old dead god will then leap out of its body, find the nearest soul, and be reborn out of them, and an archdemon will be created from within it. So could just be some random dude walking around on the street. Someone kills an archdemon a mile away, and
then you're the new guy.
Boom! You're the fucking new archdemon. Your plans are ruined. Your whole day is so fucked. So that's how that works, unless a Grey Warden, because Grey Wardens have ingested a mixture of archdemon blood, Darkspawn blood, and lyrium, which turns it into a potion that basically turns us into the perfect, most attractive vessel for the soul of the archdemon. But because we are mortal and we will not be turned by this magic, it destroys us both. And so the soul of the archdemon dies and we die at the same time. Yeah. And that's the only way to actually kill an archdemon. So Riordan, bless him, tells us this. And Alistair and I are like, woo, fuck. But Riordan's like, hey, don't worry. I'm
the senior member.
I'm the senior guy.
I'll be the one to do it.
I was about to start hearing the calling anyway over the next couple of years. My time has been coming for a while.
He also does say that he's like, yeah, Duncan didn't tell you this, but this is what Duncan knew was going to happen, and he was going to do this. Mm-hmm. Like, probably the reason he didn't tell you is because he was like,
he was planning on...
I'm going to fucking die.
Yeah, he was planning on killing the archdemon and dying with it. So he's like, this is what I'll do, but we should not go in together, because we don't want, like, we
one
can't
foul
all
swoop,
die.
We're all gone. Yeah.
One of us has to live to kill this archdemon. So he explains that. We leave. Alistair's like, woo, heavy, huh? And is like so not taking this seriously, which I really love. And then I run into Morgan. We run into Morgan, who's like, hey, I'd like to talk to you. I heard a little something about an archdemon, Grey Wardens, etc., and has a proposal for you. And now, please take it away. I need to hear everything about Quinton's journey in this.
I'm going to turn a light on for this, just so you know my emotions and you can see me cry.
Yeah, I need to see all the wrinkles in your face as they contort.
So, hello again. So, Morgan says that there is a way for a Grey Warden to kill an archdemon and live. But that way is she does this dark demon ritual where someone impregnates her, and then the archdemon's soul goes into
a Grey Warden. Has to be a Grey Warden.
Has to be a Grey Warden. And then the archdemon's soul goes into the baby instead, and the baby doesn't die because it's too new with all of this weird soul shit, because life begins at conception.
Yeah.
And also she can then give birth to it, and then births an old god, basically. Yeah. She also says that this is the whole reason why Flemeth told her to go in the first place, because this was Flemeth's plan from the offset. And then obviously Quinton's like, oh, so we are nothing then. You didn't mean anything. And then she's like, I meant everything. I didn't mean... My mission statement specifically told me to not fall in love, and yet I did.
Wow, damn.
Yeah, dude.
But she would prefer you to do it. Not Alistair.
I didn't have another option. She was like, no, it's you, and that's like it. And then she also says, regardless of what happens, if you don't do it, or if you do, you will never see me again. Yeah. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And you'll never see the baby as well.
Never see the baby. Yeah. Every single time I had the option, I picked, I'm going to find you, though. That's going to be my whole life. And then she's like, I mean, maybe one day you'll find me, but I'm going to make it my job to try and make it so that doesn't happen. This is now the only time that anyone has ever referenced that I'm a blood mage. Because she says the ritual is similar to blood magic, which I know you're not unaccustomed to. And I was like, that's fun. She references the fact that I'm a blood mage. Love that for me. It's the only time anyone's ever said it. So this sucks, dude. This sucks.
Yeah.
This person who is like, you've fallen in love with over this course, who you've had to fight against Wynn constantly, because Wynn is saying, no, she's going to betray us. Obviously, she's going to betray us. She's going to betray you. This love isn't real. I convinced Wynn that it is, only for the next day, Morrigan to say, yeah, it's not, though. I'm here to have a baby.
But she is saying that she does
love it, and she does love you. She admits it, and she says that she does, like, a lot, and she's like clearly gutted by it, because she is like, I didn't want to fall in love with you, and I did, and it has to be you, no one else, because I love you, and like I want to have your kid.
She could do this with Alistair. She could,
yeah, and she doesn't. She just didn't say that, or she might have, and I just had blinders on, and I didn't see the option where she said it. But she's fully like, no, I want to have a baby with you, and it has to be you and your kid because I love you, and like I didn't want this to happen. So I said, all right, fuck it. So I had the kid. I had a baby.
You did.
You did. I had a baby with Morrigan.
There's a whole sex scene too, in like this like fancy bed and stuff.
Yeah, stiff ass boobs. It's crazy. Boobs. It's not as sexual as the casual one in the camp, but it is
giant stone hands.
She just like sexily crawls on you and then blows out a candle, and then it's like the morning time. Yeah. I knew this ending coming. My redemption for Quinn was fully... It was going to be the thesis of, if I'm to prove that being a blood mage doesn't turn you evil, I have to die. It has to be my selflessness in the face of death to save everyone. Like, that's what's going to prove that blood magic isn't bad. Mm-hmm. But when faced with the option, Quinn just couldn't do it. Like, because he heard, we just had spoken to your man, and he was like, someone's got to die, and Quinn was like, you're gonna fuck it up because I'm the greatest mage that's ever existed, so I know that you're gonna fuck it up, so I'm gonna have to be the one to do it, and I will die above Alistair because that's it. And then Morrigan pulled me aside and was like, I need a baby and I love you and I'm sorry. And then I was like, okay, my life's mission has changed from finding the Archdemon to finding you.
Yeah. Tomorrow's goal is kill the Archdemon. Every day after that is finding you and my son.
I'm going to find you. Yeah. I'm going to find you everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, I decided I decided to have the kid with her. In a move that I genuinely didn't think would happen. I don't know how.
And I called like months ago.
Like a million years ago. It was great though, because it really was.
It came really, organically,
but it was because this whole time, it's like everyone is like, "Oh, she fucking sucks," and blah blah blah, and she's gonna fuck us over. And yes, that was true, but she broke like a while ago. Every single time I speak to her, she calls me my calls me my love, and she like doesn't, and she like openly is like. She enjoys pursuing our romance, like, outside of this. She says that she wished she never got put on this job and that we could just live, but she has to do this for Flemeth, even though Flemeth turned into a dragon, tried to fucking kill her, but whatever. And I was like, I see that this is so important to her that that's why I did it.
So she's not necessarily doing this for Flemeth, because you killed Flemeth.
I did, but she comes back because it's said in the text that she's immortal. They say that.
They say in the text she's immortal, but you've killed her. And that she stays immortal by imbuing her soul in her sacrificed daughters. Morrigan is doing this because she wants to figure out and put an end to this and like figure out what this magic is that Flemeth has been using to keep herself alive for, ages. And she wants to also be more powerful than Flemeth ever was. So now instead of just imbuing a child with her own soul, she's going to manifest an old god and bring an old god back into the world via your baby.
And it meant so much to her that I think there was no way that he couldn't do it, because it's like clearly this is like, if she is drawing a line in the sand and saying that after tomorrow, after, the Battle of the Archdemon, you won't see me again, full stop. But I really, really need this right now. And he's like, all right, I can convince you later that this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But right now, I'll do this.
That is what I would do in real life. That is what I would do. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
So I did it, and I didn't think I would. And then comes
hold on.
Great. Oh.
Hold on. So I get the same situation.
Oh, of course you do. Yes.
Where she stops me and is like, "Hey, Feleria, can we talk for a second? I have a way out of the situation. I know that the only way to kill an archdemon is for one of you two to die. Or one of you three to die. I don't want that to happen. Neither do you. The way for it to happen is this ritual. Obviously, Feleria is a woman, so that is not anatomically happening. So she says, tell Alistair to do this, and it'll save both of your lives." And I'm like, Alistair's not going to fucking do that?
Yeah, right?
One,
that's
you guys
insane.
hate each other. And then two, you guys hate each other. She's like, just convince him. Convince him to do it. So I'm like, look, I'll bring it up, I guess. So I go talk to Alistair. And Alistair's leaning on the bed, being like, what a big day we got tomorrow. And he's cracking jokes. He's being all silly. I'm like, hey, buddy, we're going to die tomorrow. So if you could just lock in for a second. I have something serious to talk about with you. Morgan knows how to stop us from dying. However, it does involve you fucking her, getting her pregnant, and having a child that you'll never be allowed to see. What do you think about that? And Alistair laughs and then is like, oh, are you for real? You're for real that that's a real thing? And then he is like, I don't ever want to touch Morgan. And I don't want to be a father. And I don't want to never see my child. I don't want any part of this. He goes
this
through.
Whole deal sucks.
This sucks so much. And he's like, please tell me you're not insisting on this. And then I had the option to use my supernatural coercion at this point to just be like, please do it for both of us. And I was like, no, he doesn't want to. I'm not making him do it. So I said, nah, it's okay. Don't worry, buddy. I'm sure Riordan will kill the archdemon. And then I go back to Morgan. I tell her. She's like, so what's up? Alistair, we fucking? And I'm like, no, Alistair said no, and I'm not going to push him. And she flips out and she's like, well, you are my friend. I am trying to not get you killed, and I won't watch you throw your life away. And she leaves right there before the Battle of Denerim. Yeah. No way. She leaves straight out. She says, I won't watch you throw your life away when there was another option. She goes on a tirade about how she you're her friend and she can't watch it happen.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
and I
crazy.
Can't imagine that conversation is any less painful if you did Romancer. I think it's probably pretty brutal.
I think it's probably fucking awful.
Yeah. So she just straight up walks out, leaves. We go to bed. And then it is morning. It is time to travel to the Battle of Denerim.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a turn?
So, the night previous, before we had all this conversation, you have, like, not necessarily one last chance, but one last chance to have the normal camp conversations with people.
Yes.
I did speak to Wynn, and Wynn did say that years ago, on one of her first apprentices, she just reveals backstory shit.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, years ago, one of my old apprentices, like, I didn't teach him right, and because I wasn't, who he needed to be, and all this shit. And I was like, babe, we're dying tomorrow. This is a crazy time for you to tell me this. Like, I can't do anything about it. Like, I can't help you.
You can find him, and you can reunite them.
I'm sure you can.
He's at the Dalish camp.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Oh, God.
She told me just as, like, Riordan was like, hey, Bal, can I speak to you really quick? And I was like, yeah, sure. What's up, Wynn? I had a apprentice who
oh my God. So from
babe, not the time, dude.
From Quinn's perspective, she's just giving like basically a deathbed confessions. Like yep. She's just
100% is what I took it as. It's like she failed someone and it's her greatest regret and she'll never live it down. Yeah, are we good to die tomorrow? Yeah, dude, what the fuck? I'm gonna go bang my wife, I guess. Bye.
I gotta go make an old god baby.
I gotta go make an old god baby. But you then go to Denerim, and you have an outstandingly good final sequence. It's a big battle. It's literally, you are fighting through the Denerim streets that you have known throughout the game, which I love that shit. The Archdemon is there. You, like, fight through the initial horde, break through, get into the city square, and it's everyone. It's like your whole fucking crew, which is so exciting for me. It's like...
I know, because you get to break down the doors with your entire crew.
It's your whole team. It's like,
yeah,
I was fighting fucking
cool.
Darkspawn. I turn around and see, like, way off in the distance, like, Shale and Zevran fucking people
Ogren fighting together.
And it's just awesome. It's
Dog
so
is
sick.
attacking people.
It's like, it's your boys. Like, your whole crew is doing the damn thing that you, like, set out to do, and it's just your crew, and it's awesome. You hold off a couple of waves, you kill all these guys, you, like, are able to break through, and then you have to get to the top of this castle spire, correct? Because that's the highest point, and the dragon is probably going to get there.
Is. Yeah, so you have a couple of things that so when you break into the city gates, you have this big fight where all of your companions, for the first time ever, are in a battle together. When you finally clear this area out, you get to link up with Riordan and some of the guards from Denerim, and you get filled in that, the fighting is going to get more congested when you get in, and the Archdemon is up at the top of this spire at the top of the tower.
Yeah.
But two of the Archdemon's generals are terrorizing all of Denerim.
Yes.
And they tell you basically, if you make it to the Archdemon, that Archdemon's going to summon those generals and all of their armies with them. So you have the option to go straight to the Archdemon, or...
frozen.
Oh, fuck. Just hang on one sec.
Has his PC crashed?
No.
So best guy's PC
I don't
crashed.
Think so.
Maybe. It looks that way.
My internet.
Awful. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, it's just my internet froze for a minute. We're okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, my internet froze for a minute. We're okay.
You're still very ping-pongy.
It's okay. I'm going to give it a second, and I can cut this out. So just let me know when I've returned to normalcy.
I shall.
Okay. It's just... bop around for a second.
I was scared there for a minute.
Yeah. I think it's okay. How am I sounding? Am I sounding more or less?
You're sounding
normal?
more Human. You're now moving. Okay, speak for me.
I'm speaking. I'm doing a thing.
There you are.
All right, beautiful. All right. So, what was the last thing you heard me say? Because I was building to something. Okay. So, right. So you learn that the two generals of the Archdemon are off terrorizing Denerim.
Yeah.
If you make it to the Archdemon, as soon as you attack the Archdemon, they tell you it's likely that he's going to call his generals to retreat and come and back him up. So you do have the option to just go straight to the Archdemon, and you will have to fight him, his army, his two generals, and their armies. Or you could go pick off the generals first, and then
it'll be weaker overall, and then yeah.
So obviously, like it really depends. But the best thing to do is go and target the armies first. There's one in the general like market square of Denerim, and there's one in the alienage.
Yeah.
And so you go and you attack the generals. The generals are tough. And so but before you do all of this, actually, you pick your group that you're going to be actually traveling with to the gates.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal. And I've burned myself so many times in this for so many ways, because once you make this decision, you can't unmake it.
You can't switch it. Yeah.
And terrible things can happen. So, and I'll tell you a funny story at some point after this. But so I picked for my crew. And so leading up to it, Alistair's like, it's you and me. We're going in. The two of us and whoever. You know, it's one of those things where the game is clearly telling you, pick Alistair and whoever the fuck else you want to go do this. And I said, fuck you, Alistair. You're not coming with me. Because Riordan kept telling me. Riordan keeps telling me that we should not all be together. Because if we all die, we can't kill the Archdemon. Now, also, me, Dillin, I knew that I could not have the outcome if I were to pick Alistair. So I also was like, I don't want that ending. So I'm not allowing it.
Does it always happen, or is it literally the person who gets the final hit on the boss?
It is not. So if there is one, so here's what happens. All right. So you know what? So I picked Wynn, Shale, and Liliana. That's my core team that I took in. And then you get a goodbye from everybody who's not coming in with you. They give you a little like...
Oh, I had a goodbye from everyone.
Oh, maybe it is everyone. Yeah, because the other people are like, all right, let's go in. But then everybody else who's not coming in says goodbye to you.
Yeah.
One time, I didn't like realize what was happening there, but I did. I was playing a male warden, and I was not romancing Morgan, but I did fuck her for the ritual. And I fuck her for the ritual, and then I was like, I just wasn't listening to the dialogue options closely enough. And when I picked my team, I picked Wynn instead of Morgan as my mage going in. And when she comes up to say goodbye to you, she goes, so that was for nothing. Interesting.
Oh my god.
Choice, because if she doesn't go with you, the Archdemon's
close to you.
So I just fucked her and got her pregnant for no reason. With a regular baby. Like she's just pregnant with a regular baby.
That's so funny.
She's just like, okay.
Damn. Okay, Grey Warden, I guess I gotta have an abortion now. What the fuck
Like,
was with that, dude?
She looks like so confused when she comes to say goodbye. Why did you do
Fucking
this?
hell.
But so in this, Alistair is like, I don't know why you didn't choose me to go with you, but I trust you, and I will see you on the other side of this.
And he's still in love with you, I can imagine.
No, we broke it off, but we're best friends.
Yeah, but I'm sure that he is still in love with you.
Oh, for sure. Obviously.
Yeah.
So we all go, we take out the generals who are fucking hard as hell to kill.
Hard as shit.
To kill.
This whole final section, I had to reload so many times. It's brutal.
It's tough. We get through this. You level up a couple more times, which is good. But now you have a new skill where you can summon all of the armies you recruited.
Yeah.
And the allies.
Yeah.
And that is stressful to me because you also see how many of them die if you are not doing well.
You see their number tick down. Yep.
Yeah. So if you're not doing well, like, yes, they act as kind of cannon fodder, but that's not what I want.
They are also acting as cannon fodder is the problem.
That's the problem.
You also see, like, big guys in there. I saw First Enchanter turned up for me.
Irving. Irving shows up.
I also saw, oh my god. Arl Eamon, I think, turned up for me as well at some point. I didn't use any of them until the final fight. However, for reasons that I told you, I had to unfortunately do the final fight twice. So I picked someone else the second time. Fun fact, Baldur's Gate 3 has this exact same mechanic in the final confrontation where you can summon people who are your allies to come in. And I also didn't use it in that because it feels bad to have... It's like, no, I can deal with this on my own. If you come in, you're gonna die permanently. That doesn't really rock my boat necessarily.
Right.
So I didn't use them until the very, very final Archdemon fight, which is probably why, because they're meant to be used.
They are.
Which is why the final fights were so fucking difficult. Is because I refused to use them until the last little bit. So I was getting hounded by.
Yeah.
Close to 100 Darkspawn on one map.
I know, there's so many.
What's fucking awesome, every single one of them dies in a single hit. And it's fucking sick. Not all of them die. There's like elites,
the generals
which don't die.
and the
elite, slightly bigger guys.
Yeah, they don't.
But the peons all do die in a single hit, which, as an AoE mage, makes you feel fully like God.
Yeah.
I was
a lot
like
of bombs.
locking down full areas. I was like, okay, anyone that's coming from there is going to die immediately. Anyone coming from there is going to die immediately. I'm focused on you and you alone. And I was fucking blood controlling ogres, having them turn around and start fighting their friends. And it's a great
This fight gets
fight.
So stressful because there are so many ogres in like the general fights. You'll be fighting like 4
2
ogres
or 3
at the same time, and like the ogres are like throughout the game they're tough, but there's only ever one of them like at a time, and it's like,
I mean, they're the first boss in the game.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, did you have fun fighting the first boss in the game? Have 4 or 5 of them at the exact same time, and it's like, oh, Jesus. Yeah. And then it's not even just 4 or 5. It's like you fight 4 or 5, 3 of them die, 2 more come to replace them. Like it's. Yeah, it's hard.
There's
it
a
really
lot of
does show you how far you've come, though.
It does. Cool. And there's a lot of strategic ways. This is where Origins can be fun if you are really engaging with like the mechanics of Origins, which I know is like some people don't like, it's hit or miss, and I get it. But if you really like strategically place people, strategically like command people well, this fight is where that like really starts to shine a little bit, I think, in my opinion. And
it's so tactical based. Like,
Yeah, it is.
These were the best fights in the game.
Yeah.
I think just because it's like, yeah, they were really tough, and I was dying a bunch, but I was dying a bunch because I wasn't thinking strategically, and then as soon as I decided to, it was fucking crazy. I did about in a decent amount of the fights, they were won by Alistair, who was it was like, I died because I'm fucking squishy blood mage, Morrigan died, squishy blood mage, Liliana is a fucking rogue and beefed it immediately. It was like Alistair versus four fucking ogres and a bunch of dudes, and like,
he is the Grey Warden. He just like,
he just tanks everything, and he was just slaughtering with Duncan's sword. Was like, because I equipped it on him because he asked for something of Duncan's, and it was like him, Duncan's sword, King Kaelin's shield and armor, and was like cleaning through so many dudes, and it just felt fucking awesome. I was like, this guy is so sick. And ogres are one of the bosses which you have a unique kill animation for, which when he used it, he's the coolest guy in the world. He like fucking like swipes at their knee so they go on one knee, and then like leaps off of their knee and jams the sword in its face, and he's the coolest guy ever.
See, I get the Duncan animation when I kill an ogre because I'm a dual wielding rogue, so I literally get to jump up and dual stab them in the chest just like Duncan does in that first Ostagar
hot
scene.
As hell. That's so sick.
It's
actually
so hot. I love it.
Dope.
But it's only if you kill them on a crit. It's not how, like, you have to kill them on a crit.
Oh, fascinating. Oh, he did.
Oh,
okay. Well, Alistair was clearly
to get the
lucky, man.
special animation.
Lots of crits. My guy was. This is where you get the cool cutscene of Ferelden when he runs along rooftops, jumps off of one to catch the dragon as it's flying down to do a big breath attack on a bunch of people. And then there's like stabbing it as he's riding the dragon and rips off its wing and does all this shit. I'm like, this is the coolest fucking guy ever. This is crazy.
Like stabs his sword into the Archdemon. And like at first, it's like, I mean, he leaps off an entire building to stab this dragon, which is so sick. But then like, it's like so obvious that that's not going to kill the fucking dragon. But then he stabs it a bunch more times. And then like as he is flung from the dragon, the last thing that Ferelden does is like stab one more time in this dragon so that his blade like drags down the entire length of the dragon as he falls down to his death.
Wing as well. He does it like through the wing, so it has to settle on like a peak. And I was like, it's just, and that was the thing. I was like, man, this guy, I knew him for 5 minutes. I didn't really like him. And then I'm like, and he gave him the coolest animation. Like this guy's awesome. It's so cool.
This is the wardens. The wardens are, it's like, it's set up this way from the beginning and we always forget it. The wardens are often made up of people who sucked in the past. And the thing that they exist to be now is badass Archdemon and Darkspawn killing machines. Like, this is their redemption. The only thing that saves your soul from whatever fucked up past you have is
going
to kill Darkspawn.
Like this.
Alistair Alistair is a former Templar. His whole life before this was terrorizing mages. He was imprisoning and terrorizing mages all across Denerim. This is his redemption, is being a Grey Warden.
And it's like, it's not only like, oh, this is your redemption. It's like, this is the Blight. This is the purpose of you. It's do or die now.
Yes,
if you're gonna this is the time to just keep rolling the dice, because if you fail, the world ends. So do crazy shit. Jump off a fucking building and ride a dragon into the sky, because if you make it, then you've saved the world. If you fail, then everyone is fucked. And it's just so cool. It's just such a great bit. Obviously, he slips off of it. I mean, I don't even think he slips. Honestly, I think he's riding a giant rotting dragon. If he was riding a normal dragon, you see him do shit. Like, he rolls like the dragon decides it's gonna ram into a building, so he rolls to the side and stabs his sword into the second side of it, so that when it hits, he's unaffected and all this. But it's rotting, so his sword slips and just cleans through like a huge portion of it, and then he falls off to his death. And it's like there's so many things where it's like he knows what he's doing when he's doing it, and he's awesome. And
it's awesome.
It's another thing where it's like we see him die, we see him crunch on the ground. Like there's no way
he
that
dies
man's living.
so much. Yeah.
But it's one of these things where it's like, man, I could take more time with these guys. I just think they're awesome. They're so cool.
It's it's very clear in parts like that this game was not meant to have sequels. Like these
characters are just too.
They're so cool, and they get so much backstory to only exist on screen
for 20 minutes.
For 20 minutes, maybe. Yeah.
And it makes me wanna, if we were to ever play the Dragon Age TTRPG, it's like, I want to be a fucking Grey Warden, man. These guys are so cool. I love this. I love this group of people. They're so sick.
Me too. I love the Grey
really
Wardens. So he dies. So
he dies, R.I.P. in pieces, but he maims the dragon enough that we can get it.
Yes. And so that means different things now for both of us. For Quinton and for Feleria. Because him dying means that Alistair or I have to die. In order for this Archdemon to die.
That's true.
He cannot be the killing blow on the Archdemon. The Archdemon will not find his soul.
Yeah.
So now it is Alistair and I.
Yeah. Here's a question.
Who did you bring with you?
18, baby. Me, Alistair, Lily, Morrigan.
Beautiful.
Like I simply could have no one else in that.
No.
Final
yeah,
thing.
I get it.
Like they are. Since the Landsmeet, I had them in everything because they were the people I started with. They're the people who I like the most out of everyone. I said my goodbye. Oh, coolest shit ever! You do a couple of fights against the generals.
Yeah.
Then you cut back to the other team who was left. And then you play as them holding the gate. Love it so hard.
Yeah.
They were. You know what? I gave them I call them the B team. These guys were at the gate. They were
holding back hordes.
Nothing got through. Like there was a thing of like, no one. Like I think I got an achievement of like no one died in like trying to get through the gate.
Yes, you get an achievement.
Like, dude, because apparently these guys are crazy. Like. It was like Sten, Shale, Zevran, Wynn. Like Wynn was healing and hasting everyone as and Ogren as well, of course.
Yeah.
And Dog. But I think Shale and Dog were NPCs in quotes.
Yes,
like,
and you control like 4 of the
But it was like 3 tanks and an assassin with a huge healer mage next to the door, and we were like pushing them back through the gates. And I was like, these guys are the coolest ever. These are all of the heroes of Ferelden. These guys are the coolest
everybody
fucking
here.
Characters.
And I love that because like, yes, you, the Grey Wardens, in my specifically, Alistair was behind in that group. And so it was sort of like, yes, we have a Grey Warden going to fight the Archdemon. We have a Grey Warden at the gate. We have, we have the Grey Wardens are here to defend this place. But regardless of whether there's a Grey Warden in each place, there's all these people who, much like the Grey Wardens, all have a weird past that like they have decided to forego to save the world, like with you, and here they are fucking doing it, like literally saving the world. Yeah,
the whole final sequence of this game is so fucking cool. It's so good. It's crazy how hyped I was the whole time. It's like it was, it was the thing where it's like, you were traveling the battle map and I killed both the generals and I was like, all right, it's time to fucking do the damn thing. And then we were walking and there was the little like swing of attack, and then we cut back to the other team and I was like, God, let's fucking go, boys. Like, this is it, lads. Let's fucking hold the line. And it's just the best, man. I loved this final sequence. All of it was so good.
So now then you do get to the top though. where the Archdemon is. And if you've killed the generals, I mean, there are still Darkspawn up there, but it's really the Archdemon. It's much less. If you haven't killed the generals, like, I mean, you have to kill them up there as the Archdemon is also trying to kill you. And with all their armies, it's fucked.
Yeah.
But so this top fight, you have the Archdemon who can fly a little bit, but not much.
But they go up and land.
They can only like hop from pillar to pillar. And there are these big ballistas.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Oh, that you can try to get a hold of and shoot the Archdemon with these big giant ballistas.
It landed in a place where I couldn't reach it, but the ballista could. So I was just fucking wanging it with these. As like everyone. So this is where I summoned. So I had Redcliffe Knights, dwarves, someone else, elves, and then mages. I had 50 of each, except for the mages, where I only had 12 mages.
Same, yeah.
And now I understood why you give the things.
Yeah,
because
I had about 20 mages. Yeah,
that's crazy. I felt like I was giving my mages every single rune because I didn't care about any of the runes, but apparently it wasn't good enough.
It's always less mages than everything else. You don't get as many mages.
All right. Mm-hmm. But I summoned all of the Redcliffe soldiers to fight with me. In that, First Enchanter Irving turned up, and I was, for me, a mage who Wynn was like, "Oh my god, the circle is so proud of you." Like this was my home. Seeing my mentor turn up and me look at him, and I'm like, "Me and you, baby, let's fucking end this shit."
Oh my god,
I was
so
fucking burning
hype.
the fucking dragon down. It was sick. It's such a good final fight.
Of course saved the dwarves for last.
Oh yeah, I mean of course.
Oh, yeah. Every
dwarf doing the blight killing thing. Yeah, let's do it. Man. Yeah, that's sick as hell.
Oh sure, the wardens are here to kill the Darkspawn, and not the people who were born and raised to kill Darkspawn. Sure. Yeah. I would trust no one else than an army of dwarves to be at my side when I took the Archdemon down.
Ooh, I did have an interesting conversation at Redcliffe with the dwarves, because they are like, Haramon is not letting people come to us. He's not giving us the arms that we need. And I'm like, you're fucking joking me. Are you serious? And he's like, yeah, there's some house nonsense and shit is going really bad. And I was like, fucking hell, dude. Shit. What do you mean that the dwarves aren't coming? And then that sucked. So Quinton was like, okay, yes, I'm going to find Morrigan, but I am going to storm into Ozamar and I'm going to scream at Lord Haramon.
Yeah. So...
or King Haramon, I guess now.
So, it's not Haramon's fault. There is a royal family in Orzammar who are hoping that all the dwarven houses that come to fight the Blight will all die and that they'll be there to fill the power vacuum.
They said something about that. I assumed Haramon had his dirty little fingers in shit.
I know. This is something that happens no matter who you pick. This is just like another house that we didn't meet in there that's like, oh, all the bravest warriors in Orzammar are leaving to go fight a Blight that's hopeless. We'll fill that power vacuum. And so I was like, every fucking dwarf lives. Every fucking dwarf will live and go back to Orzammar and fuck that family.
So mine's less interesting, so I'll say it first. Do the damn thing. We fight up there. First Enchanter Irving watches me decimate hordes and hordes of Darkspawn with blood magic.
Fuck yeah.
As he's looking at me doing it, I'm like,
fuck yeah, Quinton.
Look at how I'm helping everyone right now. And then this fight is long, so I was running low on mana, so I decided to fade step, sword and shield and just like run in and just fight the dragon one-on-one, which owned because I got the special dragon killing final blow animation as my sword and shield wielding mage, and I felt everything. I was like, oh, this is what I was meant to do on this earth, is watch this specific cutscene as I run up this fucking dragon's back and I like carve its head off. Cutscene happens, I grab a longsword and I just run it through, like it goes to try to bite me, and I do the thing where like I duck and hold the greatsword up and it flies and I slice through the entirety of it as it like screams and falls away, and it's awesome and it's a great final moment. There's this and then I run up and I stab it in its head. A huge beacon goes off because I killed the
and all the other Darkspawn run away.
Everyone looks at it, and then all the other Darkspawn run. A lot getting chased, killed, and died. But I survive because I got a baby on the way. I got a bun in the oven now. Tell me what happens.
You got an old god cooking in the oven.
Old god cooking in the oven.
So here's the thing that'll happen if you don't if no one impregnates Morgan. Just before, as the Archdemon is about to die, if more than one Grey Warden is with you, so if you and Alistair are both in the core party when the Archdemon fight is happening, there will be a cutscene where the two of you duke it out over who's going to deliver the killing blow to this dragon.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's going to fucking die? And you can both argue for whether or not you think it should be you. The thing is that if I didn't bring Alistair, so that cutscene doesn't happen, so I kill him automatically. But if Alistair is softened and loves you, you are not able to convince him under any circumstances to not die. So I did not bring Alistair with me very strategically for that reason, because I cannot have him dying.
Yeah.
The Grey Wardens need him. So Feleria obviously did not know that. I think that the thing with Feleria is that Feleria thinks that she trusted Riordan. Riordan was going to do this. If not Riordan, it will be me or Alistair, but Alistair is such a good Grey Warden. Like, Alistair loves the Grey Wardens, cares about being a Grey Warden. Feleria is still an Idukan. Feleria is still, like, after this, she didn't want to continue on fighting Darkspawn for the rest of her life. She wanted to go back to Orzammar. Yeah. And reclaim her name. But that's not what happened. She killed that dragon on a crit, which is cool because then we got two kind of cutscenes in a row. The
both
dual wielding cutscene and then the cutscene to kill the dragon. And then dragon dies. We hard cut immediately to Feleria's funeral. In the alienage with, frankly, a turnout that I think could have been a little stronger. But I get it. I know that there's a Blight. But we're in the alienage.
There's a lot of funerals happening that day.
We're in Denerim, in the alienage. My funeral is there. My casket is there. It's going to be carried back to Orzammar. My ex-boyfriend shows up. He's going to escort me my body back to Orzammar.
As fuck
Because also things have changed back in Orzammar, and he's gonna be allowed back in. Because of the changes that Balin has made, he will be allowed back in. My name has been restored, and I will be posthumously made a paragon. So
magical.
There
God,
is that.
We love that.
Liliana is not good. She's not dealing with this well. She's very sad. A lot of people make a speech. Alistair gives an unbelievable speech about like my bravery and like how
he's so in love with you. That's crazy.
Oh my God, it's honestly beautiful. It's moving as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
is this when you text me saying I'm going to cry? I'm finishing Dragon Age.
No. I will. So, God. All right. So, all of this funeral is beautiful. I'm commended by everyone, and I am then taken back to Orzammar.
Mm.
And then it pretty much just goes back to the epilogue sequence where it tells you everything that happens subsequently.
Yeah,
so does anything happen for you before we get to that?
Yeah. We are not at a funeral. We are at a coronation, actually. We're at the Queen's coronation. It's huge. She thanks me for everything and asks me if there's anything I want, if there's like a wish that I have, a big demand, and I say that I want all of the mages in the tower to be their own, like, to get the Templars out. I want them to be their own people. And she says, well, the Chantry's not going to like it, but you saved everyone, so yeah, okay. So I cool. liberated the Circle Tower, which is essentially what my goal was from the beginning. Is I want to prove that mages, I kind of want to prove that mages can be trusted, but also I've become literally stronger than God at that last section where I'm summoning every element known to man and controlling people's blood. But and then I speak to everyone. Everyone is doing killer. First Enchanter Irving is there, and he's like, holy shit, I cannot believe that was your wish. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Like, this was crazy. Like, you saved everything. I knew you could do it. I'm so proud of you. Liliana is having a great time, and she's just like, I'm a big fan of parties, so this is great for me. Alistair is...
she does love parties.
She loves parties.
That's canonical.
Queen Adora's like, what are you going to do next? And I said, I'm going to find Morrigan. I'm going to find my partner, so I'm going to leave the Grey Wardens. Alistair says, it's a shame that you're not coming with me, because we made quite a duo. I was like, we made quite a duo, buddy. Me and you, baby. And then I told him that I'll be coming back at some point, because I love him. Spoke to Zevran. Zevran's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with myself. I was like, do you want to come find Morrigan? He's like, yeah, that sounds fun. Okay, me and you, let's go together. So we teamed up again. Spoke to Orgrin. He was like, are you looking for a third? I was like, nope. Thank you.
Peace out.
Thank you, buddy. Bye.
Goodbye.
Spoke to Sten. Sten said he's going home, and I asked him if he wants company, and he says, if you're serious, my boat's leaving in 2 days. So, yeah, come with me. If not, I've had a great time, traveling with you. Wynn then says that she's super proud of me as well. Morrigan, of course, is not there. She's left to have my child.
Yeah. Off in the woods, like a cat would do.
Like a cat.
He ran off to hide to have a baby.
I'm going to find her curled around a baby, hissing at me randomly in the rain. I think that's it. I think that was all my guys. And then there was a huge crowd of people like waiting to see me specifically, because I'm now the hero of Ferelden. And I spoke to a guard, and they were like, yeah, you better get there quick. They're going to tear down those gates. They're so excited to see the person who saved everyone. And I was like, hell yeah, baby. And it was a blood mage. Don't you ever forget that it was a blood mage that saved everyone. And then I stepped outside of the gates. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's
It was
great.
so good. I was getting emotional. as I was talking to everyone, and everyone was like, man, you did good. I'm like, oh, fuck it, we did good, baby. Like, I was giving Alistair, we were giving him little fist bumps, we were dapping each other up as we were like chatting. Yeah. I was like, I love this guy, man. And everyone I always love, except for Olgren, who can fuck himself. But everyone I was really sad to see go, and me and Zevran are going to travel for a bit. We're going to see if we can find Morrigan. I might hook up with Sten, actually, because, hey, listen, who knows where she's gone, so maybe she's with the fucking Quinari.
Shale
I
or
did speak
Sten?
to Shale.
Yeah.
No, Sten asked me if I wanted to go with him.
Yeah.
I did speak to Shale, and Shale did a very fun trope that I love, which is someone who has never cared about you, but then at the very end is like, you're a good hang, though. It's like, yeah, maybe. It's
Shale spoke at my funeral, and that was cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I left, and it was awesome. It was a great send off for my Grey Warden still living. Oh, I told Alistair. I was like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go find Morrigan." And he was like, "Good riddance to her." Just fucking hated that chick. I was like, "All right, buddy."
Alistair's like, "You knocked her up, and she's off on her own. Great, love it.
Good. Have her die in the woods. I hate that woman.
We hate her."
Yeah, that's me. And then I did have my closing sentence.
So I don't get. I didn't get a conversation with anybody because I'm.
Of course
dead.
you didn't, because you're dead.
Yeah.
Hard to have that.
All right, so I'm gonna try to remember my end tiles, or as many of them as I can.
There's
the important ones are that Zevran goes and basically with all of the acclaim that he has for being part of the Blight ending fight against the Archdemon, goes back to the Antivan Crows and is like, I'm the Antivan Crows now. And is leader of the Antivan Crows.
That's awesome.
Morgan is gone, never heard of again. Sten goes back to Saharon, and is refuses to talk badly about his time with the Grey Warden. But his knowledge of Ferelden does help elevate him to be in line to be the next Arashok.
Oh, that's cool. Love that. What happened with you and the Urn of Sacred Ashes? Because that's the only one I remember.
Oh, the Urn of Sacred Ashes. That is an interesting one. So, yes, word got out about the Urn of Sacred Ashes. People tried to get there.
Genetivi told everyone. The Chantry tried to keep it a closed secret, and he told everyone.
But no one ever got there because it closed up. And then by the time people broke in, the urn was gone. And nobody knows what happened to it.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. For me, Liliana is in charge of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. The Chantry put her in charge, and she watches over it, and it becomes a relic that people come from far and wide, but it's a thing that people can go to. It's not it doesn't close up or nothing like that.
Unfortunately, Liliana killed herself.
No way! She fucking killed herself?
Yeah.
Your pussy that good? That's crazy. My pussy that good.
She says, I'm going to see my love very soon. And she leaves and disappears.
But she's in every game, isn't she?
We'll get to that.
Holy shit. It is insane. She fully killed herself. It says that. Mm-hmm. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
No, that's what happens. That's fully what happens.
That's insane.
That's why the Urn of Sacred Ashes, because otherwise, if we were not lovers, yes, what happened for you would have happened for me. If Liliana and I were not dating, Liliana would be the guardian of the Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Wow, that's crazy. Cullen murdered a bunch of innocent civilians. For me, that's another one I remember happened. Cullen went fully and turned into a madman and killed several like random civilians and was put away.
I hate that guy. Good God. And that's just the beginning for him. That's like him.
Because I was like, I know that
up.
he's in Inquisition. Is he the same guy? He's a fucking madman who killed a bunch of civvies.
We got to deal with him in the next game first.
Right.
We've got time with Cullen.
We got time. Yeah.
We've got time to deal with Cullen. So Shale goes off to find out who she is. Like, not who she was. She knows that now. She goes on an adventure to find out who she is now and what she wants out of life, which I love.
Yeah.
Wynn, I don't remember what Wynn does exactly. I think she goes back to the circle. I don't remember what else. Yeah, that's really everything I remember. And so then obviously the game ends. I felt so emotional about Feleria's death, even though I knew it would happen because I knew I was making the choice I was making strategically. I knew that I didn't want it to be Alistair that died. And the reason I made that, like, I made that choice both out and in character. I knew that, like, Feleria would not want Alistair to die. Feleria would want Alistair to carry on the Grey Wardens. Feleria wanted to do what she was born to do. She was born a dwarf.
Born to lead.
In the Deep Roads. She was born to kill Darkspawn, and now she's regained her name and she's killed the leader of the most powerful group of Darkspawn possible. She's more than proven herself. She's done what she was always going to do in life. She just did it too soon, but she did it to save the Blight, save the world from the Blight. And she did it with an army of dwarves behind her who survived because she's a badass. But I think that, like, there's the part that made me emotional about it was that, like, I think, like, Valeria is still thinking, like, yeah, this is my role, this is what I gotta do, but it's okay, Riordan's gonna do this. And then, like, we see a cutscene where Riordan dies. Like, our Grey Warden doesn't see that cutscene. Like, we don't see that. There's always still this, like, hope that maybe somehow, like, we get to
maybe
live.
The guy on the back of the dragon was just a random dude, and it wasn't fucking
So. But yeah, I think it's just sad. Like, it's just a sad story for her.
It is.
It's so sad that her love, like, doesn't move on, but comes to find me in death because she's still so stupid religious. And it's so, like, it's like, calm down,
and it's also a religion that you're not.
Then I'm not
either.
But it doesn't matter. She believes in it so hard, and she thinks that it surpasses that. She thinks that, like, despite me not believing in it, that the Maker is still going to be keeping me alive for her, and, like, in the Maker's throne, and, like, and that she's gotta do some weird shit and then die to come and see me. But the Urn of Sacred Ashes was destroyed and is no longer there. So there's also that.
That's crazy. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. What do you remember from your slides?
The Urn of Sacred Ashes is under Liliana's protection.
Right.
She was put there. People come from all over, everywhere to find it. And she holds a pretty tight leash, I think, which I'm proud of her for doing. Because she was there, and I like to think that, like, in my canon, I like to think that Quinn had the conversation we had on the walk back with Liliana of, like, we have to kill this guy. Like, this sucks. And then Liliana, like, afterwards took it upon herself to be like, I'll protect it. I'll do it. I'll make sure it's fine. And that it's not abused by anyone.
1000%.
Because we were like,
yeah.
I know that it was like a minor thing, but it's like, you know, she clearly loved me in some sense. That I think that she's like, what's up? Can't hear me?
No, I can hear you.
No, you good? Okay. You just held your headphones for a second.
Oh yeah, I heard like a slight noise in the background. That's all. Yeah.
And she like loved Quinn. And even though Quinn's not gone, I think she considers it gone because his thing was he saved everyone and then was like, I'm going to find Morrigan now.
Yeah.
And I think that was Liliana's like, I'm never gonna win this. Like, even if we did, like, you have a child in the world and it's like I'm not a part of this equation. So instead I'm gonna fight for what you believed in, which is protecting this urn and making sure that it's not corrupted by people. Alistair's back with the Grey Wardens. He's my main dude. We like hook up all the time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He was bummed about us leaving and us separating, and he hates Morrigan, but I think he gets it.
Yeah. Alistair in mine goes, I forgot this. He goes traveling to Weishaupt Fortress where all the Orlesian Grey Wardens are.
Oh, cool.
To go and be like the Grey Warden of all Grey Wardens.
The Grey Warden. Yeah. Yeah, I can't really remember a lot of my slides. You know, Cullen goes insane, kills a bunch of random people.
That's so
which
funny.
was weird. It's interesting that
I don't get a slide about Cullen at all. Yeah.
That is interesting. It's interesting to me that I did get a slide from him because I met him for like 2 scenes. And because it's like, Brother Jenna TV, I get huge implications of him. There was a decision about killing him. So I wanted to know what happened to him. But the Cullen, it's like, who? Like, if I didn't know he was in other games, I would not know who they were talking about when they said, like, oh, Cullen did something.
I love that. I genuinely love that. I think it makes it so much more charming that this was clearly meant to be a one-off and that they still were like, hey, that random guy that you met
that
for
you
2
spoke
scenes,
to for a bit.
Yeah.
He has his own closing statements.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember a lot of them. I was too like in it. I was like, I can't, because I was too like, oh, also, I got the reason why I remember the Urn of Sacred Ashes is because I got to the Urn of Sacred Ashes bit on my closing statements and then my game crashed and I had to do the last fight again, which is then I summoned the dwarves to come help me and then another guy came in and then we fought. But yeah, awesome game.
Awesome.
So fucking good. So good. It's crazy to me how good it holds up.
I know.
had such a blast with it. It's
really
15 years old now, and I thought it was the best shit.
It was great.
so good.
It was great. Honestly, like I it's been a while since I played this game. Full. I've kind of I went through a phase, you know, after I played it the first time where I played it a million fucking times. But after a while
I stopped the game and I was like, I might do a new save actually. I might just go through it again as someone else. Yeah. And then I was like, no, because I'm going to be playing 2 like tomorrow. So I'm going to wait.
Yeah. And I truly think it's every game in this series is so different they all are connected in the story, in the lore, but they are all so different. This one to me is the role-playing game.
Yeah.
Like, this is the most, like, all of them, and like all of them have character-driven plots and character-driven things. 2 is kind of on a rail. There's not a lot of, like, there's decisions you can make that affect your companions, but like
sure,
not necessarily like the world that much.
Mm-hmm.
And Inquisition, there's a lot of world building challenges, but it's like super open world, and there's a lot that's maybe like for some people and not others in that. I think that this one is like, there's so much role-playing game about this. There's so
much role-playing game. I was truly outstanded with how many decisions I was making every single time we sat down to play.
Every single time.
And not only that, it's like... So there's this thing of, the world states and whatnot. There's like, we will continue this. But it's like... The thing is there's shit here that feels so gargantuan to me that I know isn't important. But it's like, man, this was the biggest. This decision was huge for my warden. This thing mattered so much. And even because I'm talking about Dragon Age a lot on Twitter. So my Twitter feed is like a bunch of Dragon Age content nowadays. It's great. However, this game is... Let's admit, this game is hard to play now because it crashes all the time.
It's not
hard
supported by its original developers.
And the whole thing is just pretty difficult. It's also very dated. However, every single person talks about how the Grey Warden / Hero of Ferelden is like a great character because... the amount of shit that you can say, the different things you can do, like, you can have a Grey... Like, people are always commenting, like, you can say what you will about Origins, but the Grey Warden has the best lines in the whole series.
Because the Grey Warden is not voice acted, which, trust me, I love having a voice acted PC character.
I totally agree with you. I think it's way...
I'm so into it. But because they have... all the other characters voice acted, you have
so much freedom,
so many options. Sometimes there are 9 options for you to choose from to respond to a single line of dialogue. Like there's like, that's so many. And it's maybe too many, but like, it does really personalize that character.
Yeah, absolutely. It does.
I think there are different... So 2 and Inquisition both have 2 different ways of compensating for that. And they're both very different and very interesting. I think they're both good. For whatever reason, what happened in 2 would not have worked in Inquisition, I think. But it's still a really interesting approach at like... giving options to dialogue that affect the like overall story, and we'll kind of like explore that when we get into it. But I do think that the Hero of Ferelden is, I think for a lot of people, like the Hero of Ferelden was how they got into the series. Yes, it's dated. Yes, it's a little hard to get back into, but because it is how you got into the series, it's unforgettable that like this is your anchor. This is your
absolutely
thing.
Before we started the show, I played some of this of Origins, and I played like most of Inquisition, and I didn't like Inquisition really at all. So I'm really excited to play it again because I didn't think it was grand, but I loved Origins then, and playing it now, I'm like, this is going to be so hard to beat. This is so fun, and it's just everything is so great. There's the fucking the hidden character shit of hardening and softening characters and having them react, and the people who you bring along on each adventure vastly changes how each of those quests go.
Yeah.
I didn't bring Shale along on the thing, and then that was huge. But there were characters who I did bring on certain things who were so informative to my decision of what I made,
of what was going to happen
in that time.
Yeah.
It's just the best. It's just so timelessly good. That I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really sad to see it out.
That you're like, so it's like almost like in your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all consuming and never satisfied, because from the fade the maker created you, and to the fade you shall return. Is that kind of what?
Like that. No, it's nothing
it
like that
is?
at all. No. Stop trying to wrap me up.
I'm not wrapping you up. I'm just saying relevant
bits.
Relevant bits of the Chant of
Lord
Light.
and Savior, Andraste.
That's the maker, actually. Andraste is
God, Jesus
is just
Christ.
his servant.
Yeah, sure. What was your favorite bit of the game? You finished it, closed it out. What's your favorite bit? Favorite quest line?
Jesus.
I feel like we'd be chagrined to not at least talk about it, since we're on the last episode. We're doing Awakening.
No, you're correct. We're doing Awakening, but Awakening is separate. This is our time to talk about this stuff. I think my favorite bit is still the werewolf Dalish.
Man, it's so good. Holy shit, it's such a good bit.
Arc. Yeah, I think, and I do still maintain that I think that the Orzammar bit is like one of the best bits in any game in the series, period. I think it's so extensive, and I think that it made me feel like Feleria was, to the end of the game, destined to be the main character. It made me feel like Orzammar made me feel like Feleria was, everything was leading up to this. Yeah. She was gonna die. She, like Duncan, she was gonna die in the Deep Roads.
Yeah.
Her death just got delayed, and she fell in love. She got to fall in love. She got to make friends. She got to do all these things that she wasn't going to do.
Ugh, it made me emotional, you saying that bit just then.
And
then she died killing the king of demons.
Killing the king of the Darkspawn. She was going to be killing Darkspawn peons, babies, like the fucking weakest Darkspawn possible. Duncan gave her a chance to live a little bit longer, and in that she lived so much, so hard, and then she killed the entire Blight. And she is the paragon Idukan now.
Man, I cannot imagine the peace that she felt as the light began to erupt as she stabbed the fucking dragon in the head. And then it's like that must have been a crazy feeling of her being like, fuck, I've done it. And then
I've done it
immediately, and then like the light just takes her immediately.
Yeah,
that must have been a crazy feeling for someone whose whole thing is I'm gonna
the way I picture it is that like she's meant for battle. She was born to do this. She was, champion 2 times over in Orzammar, against other champions. Like, she is the champion. So the way I imagine it is that she's just so caught up in the battle. She knows what she has to do. Like, killing the Archdemon, I don't even think there was like I don't even think there was time to think like, well, this is it. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, it was just.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the swords go through that dragon, and then she just like.
I just am. I agree.
Yeah.
But I do imagine that there's an exhale that's like after she is like, she knows it's dead, the exhale must have been one of the like something like genuinely magical that like she's finally exhaled after, what is it? How long does this game? Is this like a year and a half, 2 years? This whole game takes place over?
This is approximately 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
one exhale after 2 years of realizing that she's fucking done it, that must have been insane. Yeah.
And I think that if she had time to do anything, it was to look up and see that all of the fucking dwarves on the battlefield were still alive. Because
every single one of them were looking at her.
We kept so many fucking dwarves alive on that battlefield.
True. I lost 16 men in the final battle.
Yeah.
That was it.
I lost about 11 of the Red Cliff soldiers.
Oh, I used
everybody at least once.
Very good.
I used in each fight on the ground. I used the Red Cliff soldiers. I used the elves. I used the mages in the beginning of the fight, and then I called, like, once it was getting serious up at the top, I called in the dwarves, and the dwarves fucking ended it all.
Did the damn thing.
Did what we dwarves do.
Man, that must have been huge.
Yeah, fucking ruled. What was your favorite part of the game?
Man, I loved this final section. Yeah. I love a finale. I love a finale that can nail it, and this truly did. Racing out into the streets of Denerim, streets that I recognize, and seeing every companion join me was awesome. Yeah. It was so great.
Yeah.
I was like losing my mind during it. I was having so much fun. Because by that point, I was so juiced. I and Quinton was the mage that they always thought they were. Because I was nigh on unkillable. I was freezing people. As I was saying before, like summoning firestorms and like giant electrical storms just like around the battlefield. I was having fucking the first enchanter see me do all this and like cheer me on as I was killing the Archdemon. And it was also like Morrigan was able to see Quinton do it as well. And it's like, and it's all this shit where if we never see each other again, she can tell the kid, like, your dad was something else. Like, he was a god among men. Like, a man that I loved and also slaughtered the Archdemon and
single-handedly and
thousands of Darkspawn along the way. I loved it. I loved the whole final section. And it also wrapped up everyone's story. Like, it didn't wrap up everyone's, of course, but like, Wynn said that she was happy for me and Morrigan, and she might have been wrong. And Liliana was like, I was always kind of jealous of Morrigan. And then that also kind of like, that made sense to me as like the offhanded conversation that she had with Alistair, where she was like, I actually fucking hate Morrigan. And I was like, oh, it's because you were fucking jealous. That's why you said that she was an old hag and shit like that. And I loved all of it. I really, really like Ozimar. The problem for me is I didn't feel like a main character in that bit. I felt out of place being told to do politics when I had no personal stake in the politics.
Yeah.
We were also packing for Gen Con. I was so fucking exhausted.
Of course. I
had slammed the last of that bit down. The first half of the Deep Roads I didn't like because it was just a slog. The second half of the Deep Roads was great. Mm-hmm. I really liked how dark it, like that kind of, horror is something that I really like.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun with that.
It had a really driven plot in the second half.
Yeah. And the first half it didn't. And that's kind of a shame because the second half is really interesting. And I just feel like you could have cut a lot of the fat out of the Deep Roads. But I was also really powerful at that point, so it felt really cool. The fucking Brazilian forest is so good. Whole werewolf plotline is so good. I loved it. I loved the Urn of Sacred Ashes. The fight on top of the mountain with the dragon was great.
Oh, I didn't kill the dragon. So, that's right. So, I didn't kill the dragon.
Oh my god, is that why it closed
the dragon, so here's what happens. Sorry, I totally forgot this part of it. So, everything I said was correct, but there's a part before that. The Urn of Sacred Ashes gets out. People start to pilgrimage there. And for a while, a dragon scares them all away. So no one is ever able to get to it.
Yeah.
Then the whole place collapses and the dragon leaves. And when it is excavated, the urn is gone.
Wow. Damn, so the dragon is probably actually a really good thing being up there because it stopped people doing shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I actually love even that point of like, hey, you killed this thing because you could and it was a lot of experience, but then also think about what it was doing there.
Yeah, it was guarding the Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Yeah, there's probably a reason why there's a fucking high dragon on this mountain. Damn, that's fun. God, I'm glad Liliana didn't kill herself on my run and she was able to actually deal with that. That's good. There's just so much to love about this game. I love Ostagar. That was a great bit.
Return to Ostagar.
I loved going back to Ostagar. Yeah. Damn, I loved that. Hated the Mage's Circle, but liked the Fade. So, it's tit for tat. The whole thing is just awesome. It's just a great game. Almost every single week I'm walking away being like, fuck, that was so fun. I know. And I'm excited about Awakening, but I'm excited about Awakening so I can play Dragon Age 2. Like, I am really happy to close this game out now because it's just awesome. Like, I totally get why people love it.
And Awakening is not just a DLC to this game. It is a bridge. So Awakening was made when they realized that this game was popular enough to come out with a sequel. So Awakening is made as a bridge to introduce us to the next bit of this game. And so in that sense, this is like an intermediate between the two games.
I can play Quinn in Awakening, right?
Yes, you
because he's
must
still
play
the Grey
Quinn
Warden.
in Awakening. Yeah,
and
this takes place.
You have to make a new guy.
Yeah,
upsetting.
Oh, sucks, or do I play? I actually don't know. I might play Alistair.
Wow,
I don't actually know.
On my like, I'm gonna play one of every Origin. I did play the opening of Awakening. And by the opening, I mean like I made the character and then I went into the game before I realized that it was
you choose which playthrough to be.
But you also can just make a character fresh,
yes,
right there for Awakening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating. Exciting. Well, we're going to be doing that next week.
We will.
I'm really excited for it, and that's the last time we're going to be touching Origins for a little bit.
I have an idea, and Robin, please, we can cut this if it's not a good one.
Okay.
I have an idea that we wrap this episode and then we hit record again and we do
play through Awakening.
No. And then we just kind of gossip and shit talk the characters for a while and we could do a ranking. We could do
oh, that would be so fun. I would love that.
NPCs?
I would love that after Awakening.
Okay.
Because then that is fully closing Origins out.
Entirely.
Like a line through it. It's done. Mm-hmm. We're moving on to 2. That is a fucking great idea, though. I would love to do that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Okay, good.
I think that's really cool. You know what? I was just about to ask who your favorite companion was, but I think we should keep this for our secret episode.
Yeah.
The secret ranking episode.
Oh, sick. All right. Game. Well, are you ready?
Grey Wardens. Remember, in war, victory. in peace.
Vigilance. Bitch!
Bitch!
You finally did it!
You know what's so funny? I thought I was going to forget it. That was the only time I've not been confident, which is why I said it slow, because I was like, oh, am I going to fuck this up? Actually, there's a lot of pressure right now.